What's up, everybody? It's me, Miss T, and thanks for checking out the Insecure TV. Tonight, we're in for another tasty treat. So, without further ado, let's dive into this menu. It's extra simple today. King crab legs dropped in some Old Bay. Hey, come on! And of course, my nostalgia butter sauce. Shout out to my gram. So, without further ado, let's not hesitate. Let's not wait. Let's get cracking, okay? Okay. Okay. These are looking extra good. Extra good, y'all. I was excited. See, my hair isn't exactly cooperating this evening, but that's okay. Headband comes in handy. Top knot comes in handy. Oh, don't be mad. So, I hope your week has been absolutely fabulous. This week has been interesting to me. Very interesting. A lot of interesting developments in the podcast lane. One in particular, I must say, I did not see it coming. And because one of the guys from that podcast made a point to go on a show and say that everything was a big joke or he did on purpose or something like that, I came prepared today because the last time these things tore my fingers up, I said that today. Oh, no, you will not. So, evidently, that was not exactly true. I am referring to, by the way, I'm referring to the Did You Miss Me podcast. Now, let me be very clear. I am not the biggest fan of all of them. So, it wasn't like I was out here watching every episode or anything like that. But I do think they're pretty funny comedians. And from time to time, I will catch their show. And it was okay. But it just seemed like at one point, you really got to be careful when you get too comfortable with, like, talking about doing substances and just things that were just like, whoa, what was that? do you know you're recording? We can hear you. It started to get like that. I think the co-host, and I would imagine that's the difficulty of working with your friends. You don't want to have any sort of falling out with them because of how they choose to do their part of the job. However, there's a certain professionalism and decorum that should be expected and required of everybody. And it just seemed like it was going to a weird space. So I spent less and less time going over there. With that being said, one of them, Billy, is clearly going through something. He put up a message that All Deaf asked him to, take a beat from even working with them. It's just things are going on with his family life and whatnot. So let's just keep him in our prayers because he's going through a lot right now. Okay, he is. In the meantime, D-Lay had Miss Coco. No, wait. Oh, I'm sorry. Pause. Miss Hope Floats on his show. Miss Hope. Miss Hope came with all of the tea. Miss Hope came with the whammy. Okay? Y'all go back and watch that episode. I'm not even going to give any spoilers. But D-Line, whoa. She came ready. She came ready to talk about it. She came ready to unleash stories that you just wouldn't know. You're not going to know these stories unless you were there, period. You're not going to know some of these stories. And she was just so forthcoming and so funny. And it was really good to see her because I remember watching her on Comic View when I was little. And I was like, wow, like female comics have always like surprised me. Like the way they can go up behind a guy and you can feel the uncertainty, right, of the energy in the room. Like you can feel it. But by the time they leave the stage, people are cracking up. People are crying, falling over each other. Like they would own that stage. And that was always so awesome to me. Like, oh, you did that, girl. I feel you. I love it. I absolutely loved it. So just see her. Oh, that was awesome. You see her there and them just chopping it up. Like, I love shows like that where people can just bring in their friends and they can just have awesome conversation. And we just kind of go, it doesn't feel as interviewy, you know? You're not going on somebody's talk show that you don't know personally. And to be honest with you, that's why I think, oh, did you see that? See, sometimes you just gotta know where to hit it. You just gotta know where. That's why I think Nick Cannon, I don't know if it's still in the works or not, but when he filled in for Wendy and he had people on there that he knew, like Keenan, and they were telling stories and going back and forth, I was like, oh, Nick, you know, he love a job. I said, Nick about to have another jobby job, y'all, because he is killing it, okay? Before you knew it, we're on the street. When Nick Cannon getting to talk to her, I was like, because I saw that coming from a mile away. But anyway, that was really fun. I loved watching that. When you get a chance, if you want to slide over to D-Lays, that interview was really, really great. I got to catch up with him. I just, I had to take a pod break because the guys over at the Joe Budden podcast, and I'm not crying, I just got a lot of spiciness. But I could have that day. I'm serious. When I found out that Rory and Maul were fired, I couldn't believe it. Like, they're friends, or at least they were at some point. And I just think you have to have true clarity. Like, I saw a clip of an interview they did, Rory and Joe did, where Rory said something in regards to owning the podcast or being part owner. And he was like, owner, ha 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 ha, you know, you might want to check your paperwork. And they all had a good chuckle. And Rory at the end said, I will, like that. But I was like, apparently he did it because at least according to what was said on the podcast, which has since been deleted. Thank goodness, because that was such trash. Like, you just, even if you fall out, like, if I fall out with somebody, I just leave them alone. I just don't deal with them anymore. Like, you know, people say, oh, so-and-so's dead to me. Like, that's kind of how I behave. And I don't know, that might not be the healthiest way to deal with people. I don't know. Maybe not. But I just won't deal with you anymore. It's like, for me, if it's over, let it be over now. Let's start now. Why wait? Why drag it out? I don't need closure. This is closure. Bye. Like, when you don't need to drag this any further than it's been dragged. Or dragged. Or whatever. Wrap it up. You know, that's just me. But to come after somebody, I feel like if at any point in time you were close to me or we were peoples or whatever, I just wouldn't want to come for you that way. Now, if we've always been, you know, at odds and this is just like the final countdown, like if it's something like that, you know, all bets are off. But if it's somebody that I really cared about and dealt with and, you know, I just won't deal with you. I'll just be like, bye, that's it, I'm done. I'm not going to talk about whatever. And I certainly wouldn't do it in front of millions of people. Like, that was just, I was like, this is it. Okay, it's over. Okay, it's really over. Y'all, that's a nice piece, isn't it, though? I'm like, back to crab. Isn't this beautiful? Mm. Very lemony. And garlicky. And yummy. So anyway, like, I just thought that was so not okay. It's not okay. And then don't talk about things that are private. Like, when you lived with me, mole. Like, you know what I'm saying? I was like, Joe has to do better. He has to do better. Because I would be very leery about doing business with somebody like that. And these are your friends, and you fired them when they weren't there. I'm like, okay. And he kept reiterating how he would have said those things if they were present that day. And I'm like, so you was going to let them come in and get fired on the air? And was that the goal? Was that the plan? Because that sounds bananas to me. Like, are you really going to do that to them? I just don't understand. You just don't know what people are capable of sometimes. I'm not going for this one because you see how sharp they look at that. Like, no. I'm gonna hopeful. Excuse me. It's gonna be our last one. We just gonna dive into it though. We're gonna dive into it. Dive into it. This one looks pretty safe. Don't look like this will be a bad last leg. But yeah, I would have loved for him to just like have like the conversation that he had, the part of the conversation that he had on the podcast with this week. He said, "Did you not realize you could have just waited till we redid the contracts and negotiated? Like, what? Mm, that was good. No, that was so good. That's gonna be my last bite. I'm serious. That was a bite of perfection. I don't want to go back down. I don't even want to go back down. That was perfection. It's perfect. The perfect amount of butter to meat ratio. Oh, bae. Nostalgia saucy. Delicious. Oh, you guys. Oh my gosh. I'll be back because these are going in the fridge. Okay. So no worries. You will see them. Okay. You will see them. But just take care of your friends, y'all. And if you can't be friends, that doesn't mean you can't be kind. And if you can't be kind, just walk away in silence, okay? Because you never know who's paying attention. And if nothing else, if the shoe were on the other foot, you got to treat people how you would want to be treated. And for me, if it's between hanging up or walking away or disrespecting you, I'm going to choose the middle and walk away permanently. And it's cool. Things change. People change. Life happens. But if you ever cared about somebody, hurting them publicly like that is just completely unacceptable. I love Joe. I love Roy. I love Moore. I wish them the best. Hopefully, at some point, you never know. The future, hopefully, will be bright for everyone. And Parks is chilling. Parks never seems to be bothered. Parks just walks around completely unbothered, seemingly. So, shout out to Parks too. But Parks just seemed like, with the exception of him saying like he had many uncomfortable moments in his backyard type of thing, I'm like, okay, Parks was kind of getting pulled in behind the scenes a little more than he let on. But nevertheless, I wish all of the guys, current, former, future, um, podcasters, all y'all, hang in there and save your friendship. Been friends with these guys too long to let that go and fall by the wayside over some business stuff. You can always make more money. The real true blue friends that's there for you, that show up when your baby's born, that really have your back when the chips are down. Listen, those kind of people are just very hard to come by. So if you have any, hold on to them because those gems are rare. With that being said, that's all I have for tonight. I am full as a tick on a golden retriever. Okay? Like so full. Okay? Full. Everything was delicious. It was amazing. It was awesome. Just as awesome as the company. Thank you so much for stopping by and hanging out with me. I appreciate you. Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment beneath this video. I would love to hear from you. Hit the notification bell wherever it may be so you know the next time a new video uploads. And as always, in the meantime, in between time, you take good care of yourself. And I'll see you right back here at the Answer Key TV. Thanks for watching. Bye.